Anyone else have my book? Perfect. This time we're going to be talking about Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. And this was Steve's book club pick. So he gets to start off with a synopsis, but we are going to do spoilers. So just don't worry about hanging back or anything.
So the Song of Achilles is about actually a guy named Patroclus, who is a lesser known character in the Odyssey, and it's about his adventures and relationship with Achilles. So him and Achilles meet up at some point, and they develop a romantic relationship with each other. And they kind of go on these adventures, and kind of hidden in the background is this prophecy. And the prophecy details about how one or both of them are going to die at some point, and they're trying. The book is about them trying to kind of evade their prophesized death.
That was a really good synopsis.
I feel like you practiced that.
I didn't.
I feel like you should do all of our synopsis.
Yeah, that was really good, Steve. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
So what would, well, first of all, would this be categorized as like a mythical fiction genre? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
I think it's, there is a genre for all these like Greek. I think it's just Greek myths. I don't know. I thought I looked it up before when we were talking about this.
Because it's not really an adaptation, is it? It sticks pretty closely to the original story.
Yeah, like the Odyssey.
Yeah. Oh, here's Liz.
It's basically just a retelling. It's a retelling of the story, or it's a more in-depth modern interpretation.
Yeah, they're like elaborating on Achilles and Patroclus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So, Steve, what did you rate it?
What's the scale again?
A through F, just like
Oh,
grade.
A through F. I would give it
plus or minus.
I would give it a B plus. I thought it was a nice retelling. I do really like the old Greek stories like the Odyssey and the Iliad, but they're just not written for modern audience. So this is kind of a fresh hi Liz. It's kind of a fresh take on a very old story, and I enjoyed reading about like the history and learning more about the myth. And these are characters who come up time and time again in our culture. Troy and all these Greek gods, Achilles, obviously, and Odysseus. So it was nice to kind of learn about those characters, read about them, get into the time frame of them. So yeah, I would give it a B plus.
Okay, Liz, all you missed was the synopsis and Steve's rating as a B plus. But I would recommend to go watch the synopsis because Steve actually killed it.
So, really?
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you, Steve.
Thank you.
Note the shock in her voice, though.
Why were you late? It's 6:08.
So it's really embarrassing. I like totally forgot we were doing it. My phone was on silent and I was finishing painting the front door. And I was in like my paint clothes too. So I like threw on a sweater. I still have my paint shorts on, but I threw on a sweater as fast as I could and I fell. So I'm sorry.
Did you have like an oh shit moment?
Yeah. I was like, oh God, oh God, oh God.
And what did you rate it?
I rated it a flat B. So I like Greek retellings, but I honestly hate Achilles' character in the Odyssey. He's such a whiner. And then Patroclus in this version, such a whiner. So they've never, either one of them have never been like one of my favorite characters. I was just like, oh my God. I mean, I was on Team Hector the whole time, so I have a statue of him if you can see him.
That's cool.
But yeah, so I hated Achilles in the Odyssey, and so I mean, this retelling was really good though. It's like easier to read than or like you get to learn about the Greek gods and stuff without having to try to decipher what they're saying. So B.
I did think the writing was quite good. I thought she like the descriptions and the length of like what she was like talking about was really well. She didn't drag on and on and on like some other authors do. It was pretty easy to fly through. Kelly, rating?
B minus.
B minus. Why?
Yeah. So it's an easy read and it's entertaining, like all the mythology stuff I find entertaining and easy to read. It's nice that you don't have to like look up every other word or, you know, all that stuff. But again, with Andrea, he like out of all the boys you could have like hung out with him, really. Like he was not good at anything. And like I don't get the infatuation. Like I wouldn't have pegged those two together. I would have picked like anybody else almost. The whining. I think Greek mythology is entertaining, but like it's just not my thing. I don't get like gung-ho about it. I did not watch the movie Troy. I probably will not watch the movie Troy. Like I don't watch movies about this, or I'm like, meh. But I mean, I get why I've seen it a lot on people's like Instagram and stuff, or like in the background. And I'm like, I totally get why the general public enjoys it. It's a good book. It's worth the read if you find that stuff entertaining, and go for it. But yeah, he's whiny. They both kind of are like, oh, woe is me. I'm like, oh God.
Achilles gives me such Peter Pan vibes of like cocky, but also
overrated,
but also like not a lot going on in his head other than thinking about himself. Like I thought it was really ironic when he like didn't know the names of certain people, or it's almost kind of like he had amnesia with certain things, to where like it just was not important to him, so he didn't store that information anywhere.
All he does is like think about fighting.
Yeah.
It's like it's all day long.
I'd have to say my favorite part of this book club round is Steve didn't know. Steve was like, anybody else feel like he's kind of into Patroclus? And we're like, what?
This was like at our second meeting, so we were like almost 100 pages in. He's like,
I'm picking up a vibe. And I was like,
Patroclus was sitting there. He's like, Achilles' eyes, they shimmer as the sun sets on the blue ocean, and my heart throbs for him. And I'm like, I wonder if they're gay. And then it's like halfway through the book.
Steve's like, this sentence right here makes me wonder if they're into each other, but maybe not.
But like, didn't you read any reviews? It's in all of them.
No.
To be fair, I'll defend Steve. Like sometimes I read about a book and I'm like, this is what it's about, and it's not at all.
I just figured it was common knowledge from like Achilles. I mean, he's a fairly popular Greek.
For some reason, I thought it was pretty common knowledge too, but I don't know why I thought that. But my favorite part was Steve. I feel like he has a crush on Patroclus. I was like, no, who's gonna tell him?
So we got all B so far. Liz, what was your rating for this one?
It's the same. I gave it a B because I like Greek mythology and I like the idea of this book, like telling the story, but in like modern English like language. So that was really fun. I liked it. It was easy read. I was very interested in it. But the whole first part of the book, in my mind, I was like, Patroclus is a little bitch. And then the second half of the book, I'm like, well, maybe Patroclus isn't so bad, but now Achilles is a little bitch. I was just like, I was mad at them the whole book. So that was the only reason I knocked the rating down at all.
I did think that Patroclus, I did like him more at the end. He kind of redeemed himself a bit in the last few chapters to me, but overall, yeah, not like I don't think any of the main characters were easily relatable to, or that you were like dying to know what they did. My rating was also B. So B's all around for this one. I did think it was good. Quick read, really good writing. Going into it, I only knew Achilles by like him getting hit in the tendon with the spear, I think. So nothing. But I thought that the author described like the world well and the time period and everything like that. I really liked the time that they spent up on the mountain. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, very
The training.
like, yeah, the training aspect. I wish that they would have gone more in depth into that, or maybe stayed there. But I was also surprised. Now I'm rambling, but that it started when Patroclus was a child and went all the way through adulthood. For some reason, I thought this was just like about them as like young children growing up, not necessarily like Achilles' entire story. But it was good. I'd recommend it, but I would definitely want to read it again.
I would read more books by this author.
Yeah.
Like Andrea read Circe, right? I want to read that one.
Circe is really good too. It's some I rated it a B as well. So.
I like that somebody went into the background of a story. I could have like maybe somebody else would have been a better pick because like Liz said, you were irritated with somebody at every point, you know. So maybe a different person or like the underdog would have been a better or more entertaining for us, I guess.
I liked the girl. Sorry, Liz.
Reisius.
Yeah.
I liked Odysseus.
Yeah. He was pretty cool too.
So I looked at
the Odyssey, Liz?
No. Well, I mean, like I had to read parts of it in college because I took Greek mythology with Kelly. But I'm not sure Kelly read the Odyssey then, but I did.
Mark noted it.
What was I gonna? Oh, so I looked at this author and I wanted to see what book she was writing next, and she's redoing another mythology story, and it's Hades and Persephone. So I'm excited.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, that one's probably gonna be good.
Oh my gosh, the evil dark one. Count us in. Love it.
Right. The only thing that I will preface this with is like the most recent article I could find about that was like 2 years old. So maybe not.
Oh,
so you're probably starting some gossip that's not real, but
okay, it's fine.
Good. Any other final thoughts? It's quite late. I feel like we're all kind of tired.
I've yawned like 4 times during this.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Well, Kelly picked the time. She doesn't get a complaint.
I know, but it's like every time I'm like, this will go well. It like I haven't been in like 6 videos, I feel like, and every time I see them pop up on YouTube, I'm like, again, damn it.
They're doing well. Our Pinterest is doing really well. We have over 147,000 views a month on Pinterest.
Maybe it's because I'm not in them anymore.
That's the trend.
Yeah.
Like I'm seeing a pattern here.
And we just got a new YouTube subscriber this week too. We're at 51.
We're so cool. Also, Steve, is it an hour later for you? Is it 10 something?
9:18.
9:18.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm
so sorry. I'm so sorry.
East Coast. Us East Coast elites, we have to deal with a little later at night right now.
You're not elite, Steve.
How late do you normally stay up?
10 to 10:30 probably.
You gotta brush your teeth and get to bed.
I am.
I feel like I never stayed up that late, but I've been starting to go to bed earlier and earlier. I'm tired at 8:30. And then
it's like 7:30 and I'm like kind of slinking around like, can I sneak out of the living room to brush my teeth and go to bed?
Yes.
Like I'm like the toddler time zone.
Sleep just sounds better than staying up. Like I'd rather just go to bed and lay in there rather than like watch more TV or anything.
I'll like read until like 9 and I'm like, oh crap, it's 9 o'clock. I'm gonna be so tired.
No, I hit the bed sheets and I'm like out.
Steve, are you judging us? Do you think we're super old?
You are super old. You're like
All
20 years
right.
older than I am.
All right, I'm gonna call you when this thing wakes up during the night and like won't go back to bed. You gotta stay up with me and then call me super old the next day.
I like how we just got you on video calling your own baby child a thing.
Yeah.
That will not be edited out.
The rest of us go to bed with Kelly, but none of us have kids. Kelly.
he turns into a thing during the night. Trust me. I'm like, who are you? I don't even know you.
Thank goodness for coffee. I don't think I'd be able to like live or be productive without
Coffee's
that.
like my favorite thing ever. It makes me so happy. Like just talking about it right now has like me happy.
I know.
Love it.
I like wake up in the morning and like want to lay in bed, but then I think, oh no, my coffee's out there. So I get up.
No, you won't even have to talk to Liz. Somebody will just mention coffee, and across the room, she's like, what?
The only thing that makes me happy.
It's like a dog when they hear the word walk, they're like, she's like,
Yeah.
coffee?
Oh my god, you know what we didn't talk about in the recording?
What? I'm
That's
still
the
recording, so
The fact that Achilles never got shot in the foot with an arrow.
he didn't.
Yeah, he didn't die that way.
It was like an arrow in like the chest or something, right? Or in the back.
I think it was in the back. It's been a while.
Doesn't he in the original version? Doesn't he die in Troy? He gets shot in the
he
head.
gets shot. No, he gets shot in the foot or in the ankle, in the
Yeah,
Achilles.
in the tendon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Bigger question that I might have to edit this out so I don't sound like a complete idiot. Achilles is not real. Like he's not. Patroclus is not real.
We tried to look this up. Do you remember? And it said that the results were inconclusive because he's not a god.
Yeah. But like how is it
He's
named
a
an Achilles tendon then?
I mean,
Because the myth has been around for so long.
So, but the myth is like based off of like him getting like hit there and dying. It's like you would think that it would actually be based off a man who that like happened to.
but he's a demigod, right? His mom was a god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not real. But when we were like trying to figure this out, we looked it up, or I Googled like a million things, and it was saying that it's like, so like Odysseus might be real. And people are claiming that they've descended from him, but nobody can go back that far to prove it.
Yeah, I think the thing was is that
Maybe. Yeah, it was like maybe not. So we could not figure it out.
I think that what they talked about was like all of these stories have been passed down for so long, right? But they go back so far and they're probably based on like something that kind of happened or maybe kind of people, but no one knows for sure and there's no proof. And
The
there's
tendon.
like
Right.
The tendon is named after like the myth,
Yeah.
the story.
Yeah.
So Troy is also the same way. Like people think it might be real, but it also might not be real.
Yeah.
That's so weird to me. Okay.
I mean, a version of Troy definitely existed. You know, there was some girl that started a war.
No.
I think that's the biggest compliment. The face that launched 1,000 ships. Like, I'm so jealous. That's awesome.
Steve, did you know that Achilles wasn't real before starting this?
On what page did you pick up that he wasn't real? And also, what page did you pick up a vibe?
Oh my God. Brian's call. Hold on one second.
You come late and then you jump off, you mute yourself. We're going to kick her out.
She should at least include Book Club in the phone call if he's going to call during.
That would be better. I wonder if she knows her camera is still on.
I think she does.
Because you know how like when someone calls you, the screen goes to black or white?
Can anybody read lips?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Oh, don't cover your mouth. Hi.
We're trying to read your lips.
Brian was at the store but asking what he should get. And I was like, well, stuff for like chicken tacos. And he's like, yeah, but what is that? All right, here's what you want in chicken tacos.
Have you
So
not
no-
eaten dinner yet?
No, it's a long night. I know.
Mm.
I've had a lot of snacks. I have one more Achilles question though. Did anyone else cry at the end?
No.
And what happened?
I think I got teary when like Patroclus
tomb?
is like his soul was like stuck in the like on Earth and like with no one, and no one would like let him leave to write his like name on the
Oh, that
I
was
felt so
sad, but I didn't
bad.
cry.
I
Yeah.
shed a tear or two.
Okay,
I cried
like,
more when Achilles
Yeah.
found out, or like I felt sad, but I don't think I cried during this one.
Nothing like,
And then, like-
Nightingale. Like I'm
Yeah,
I
that was
felt bad.
horrible.
I just want to point out the fact that Liz said, I think I cried.
I can't really remember. Like I wasn't bawling, but I think I remember like a tear or two.
She doesn't
So
know used one of her cries for the year.
I know. But I don't know why, but just in that last sentence, I feel like I sounded like Anne. Like I heard that in Aunt Anne's voice for some reason come out of my mouth. So
It was, but it was overall a good book.
it
I can
was
see
good.
why-
Good pick, Steve. I'm proud of you.
Little round of applause for Steven. A good pick and a good synopsis. Go you.